Well, hello everybody. I just want to do this live, take a break from things. I'm getting my presentation ready. It's going to be most excellent. Part 3 of 3 tonight at 9 p.m. Yes, I know the hockey game. I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to watch Canadians booing Americans. I guess it's the same reason for Wayne Gretzky as well, too. He's not going to be there. This video is important. In the last 48 hours, undeniable truth of USA and Russia. Donald J. Trump, Vladimir Putin, speaking friendly, talking, planning for a meeting in the United States of America. Meaning, just like we watched Benjamin Netanyahu go to the States to meet Trump, where Trump announced Gaza will be American. A lot of people right over their head on that. Didn't understand it. America will own Gaza. All of the Palestinians will be refugees. If people don't know what that means, that's huge. That's huge for all the Palestinians. It's a major blow to Netanyahu. And why would that be? Well, there's a conflict, as I stated clearly many, many months ago. And I tagged my friend Jason Skulmoski in this. I wanted you to wait for this moment. I wanted you to see it. I know you've been upset. You think Trump gave up or there's something going on with UNSC P5. What I wanted you to see, and what we are now seeing, is that it was Russia that was going to come back on the scene, which I think you should know inside yourself. The whole G7 thing, that's where Donald Trump wants to be with Russia. He doesn't want Russia alienated. He certainly doesn't want Russia and China teamed up against the United States for the benefit of only UK and France and the 9 kingdoms. Donald Trump's going, no, we see it. We're done. We're already in the process of decolonizing many, many North American assets. And to do that effectually, we have to make concessions. We have to pick our friends, determine our foes. To see that resolution done, to get that done, who can we trust? Well, there's only one other country on this earth powerful enough to hold the line and would want to see that done historically. For they did that for themselves. They're the closest to America, besides America itself. Maybe Switzerland in a variation. I think there's 3 other countries, but none of which have any effectual stroke in this world, don't control value and supply chains, don't have the military might. Well, Russia does. And America has to make a choice here. Joe Biden wanted to make an unreasonable choice, a nutcase choice, for the 9 kingdoms choice against all common sense and reality. Alienate Putin, alienate China. Now, whether people like it or not, what Ukraine did in determining those Russians nothing more than savages, like Canada has defined the First Peoples, nothing more than savages, was the biggest mistake of their lives, with, at the time, one of the most powerful militaries in the world. Strong as USA in numbers and in training and strength, maybe not technology or actual equipment and assets. But on the continent, they most certainly were the most fearsome army in all of Europe. All of Europe. There was no equal other than Russia. And Russia put them down. They've largely destroyed them with NATO funding beyond any measure ever seen in the world history. Russia took all of that on, did weaken them. Now they're in a position, alienated in trade, where talks with Trump, which Trump and the GOP, knowing what the Democrats are, what they've set up under Joe Biden, that they could navigate this. America's not weakened at all. Russia's greatly weakened. USA has lost some, but nothing compared to Russia. And why? Because Russia took on pretty much the entire world, the G20, in fact. And Now, Donald Trump, above that G20, above NATO, he's put Russia back on the G7 list. That's what he wants to do. He wants to negotiate with Vladimir Putin, say, hey, let's end all hostilities now. Let's make a deal. We have assets we need to secure. You have assets you need to secure. We agree that wasn't right, and in fact wrong. It's anti-American. We know it's anti-Russian and everything we both mutually agree to. In the United Nations security, as those two countries effectually have been the most in human rights the world's ever known since World War II. Ever known. Contrary to everything you're told, all you have to do is look at international law binding and the monumental gains by most of the people of the world that never had before 1945. So many of us. Canada, so many of us. Canada wouldn't have any human rights. Nothing compared to where we are. 1982 Charter, long since done, typically even in the Soviet Union and in absolutely the United States long before. That only came to be because of those countries and those laws that they bound in international law. Does USA lead the charge? Sure. But Russia's a close second right behind them. And that says something. And now, since 1991, Russia certainly is not the country of the Soviet Union or not communist. Look at their taxes. And this is what really terrifies me. Nobody looks at the taxes like, oh, that doesn't matter. Well, it certainly does for the commoner, or worse, the subject. That's us Canadians and a lot of the world. In fact, at least 2/3 of the world fall into that scenario. Highly abused, highly taxed, serving some kind of supreme dictatorship or pure autocracy. Now, Donald J. Trump knows what Russia needs. Russia needs quite a bit. They're under tremendous sanctions. They're weakened. They want an end to this conflict too. They want to keep their territories. And USA says, sure, you keep those territories. They fucked up. They went their road. Our former administration made a narrative that obviously didn't win. Think about that. They didn't win. And now it's like, okay, you have your new lines we secured in history. We want to increase our lines. We need to do some things in decolonization you can agree with. We're targeting certain countries. We want to share the Arctic with you. We can work that way as real Arctic members, as we've always been, and we've always seen some way to do that. We just are on the bad end of it. It's not a fair arrangement, I think you could agree. Just like what's happened with Europe for you. So we're going to end this conflict, and one day we're going to make some decisions here together on how we can peacefully go forward, and you can aid us and we can aid you in seeing this transition. Agreed? Well, that's to be determined, but it looks very, very good. Think about it. Vladimir Putin going to the United States to meet with Donald J. Trump. Explosive. Canada? This isn't I told you so. And Jason, it's okay. Sometimes we don't see things. I know you're a very smart, articulate guy. I know you follow all this. At some points, we don't see things. It was just confirmations that still aren't totally in place yet. They've got, I believe, 600 more to go that are pretty heavy duty. UNSC is heavy duty. But Donald J. Trump can lead off, get it ready. Once he has that in place, as Russia has their ambassadors in place, they can cement these things. You're going to see, as I said, everybody, day after day, week after week, month after month, you will see. Canada is on extremely shaky, weak legs, extremely weak. And if Donald J. Trump and Vladimir Putin end that conflict, make agreements, where does that put Canada? Piggy, literal piggy in the middle. Where does that put Canada? On bad, bad grounds. And for all of you who are lost in institutionalization, and I am sorry, I am so sorry so many of you fall for that. This is especially for all those subjects falling out west, as I'm one of you too. But even I know the limits and the load of Crown propaganda that you're eating, you're spewing in resources. And if you've never looked at USA trade with Canada versus USA trade with Russia, go look at it. You can absolutely be replaced. Did you see the fleet of tankers, super tankers that Russia has? Whoa. Canada has 0. Russia's got well over 100. Even a shadow fleet. They're still operating with a shadow fleet. That's how well developed Russia is. No joke. Not a loser on the world stage. Vast value and supply chains that are only rivaled by the United States of America. And when you look at 342 million versus 142 million, they're about on par with their influence, their scientific, trade, and economic indicators. They may run in different systems, but make no mistake, these are powerful, powerful countries like nobody else. China is getting there, but even when we looked at COVID, and this isn't I champion COVID, it's a real in-your-face analysis. Who had the value supply chains? Who had per person per capita the most global nation reach? Well, it was USA, and guess who came in very near smidgen second? That was Russia. That was Russia. USA and Russia proved to the whole world we can get it done very quickly. We have everything we need with massive amount of our sphere of influence like nothing. And that led to conflict between the two countries. Things are brewing up to that, but that really showcased who's going to come out on top here. And Russia hasn't skipped a beat. They've lost some reach, and Donald J. Trump's right. They're weak in state right now, but USA's kind of weakened too. They've burned up a lot of ordnance, a lot of money. A lot of deficit went into that in the trillions of dollars. And they're in trouble now too. Economically, both countries, not that they're not military compromised, they're not value supply train compromised, but they're both weakened, and Russia's even weakened more on the military front. But they're going to make a deal, because USA's got to look at the world as it is. Trump is common sense. Trump's reality. I can't take on all of the BRICS. I can't alienate the entire BRICS because India, China, Russia, and Trump's focusing on China right now to hold them back. Absolutely right at the center of America right now, taking America out of the #1 spot. China's right there. So Trump's solution, India, Russia, let's put them on the back burner. Let's decolonize. Let's strengthen our position, and we'll assist Russia in doing the same. We're going to make amends with Russia. That was always on the docket. I've stated it many times. I know a lot of my loyal friends and followers know it. I know sometimes you think, oh, why is Trump doing that? Well, it's America first. What's right for America. And America can't take China on its own. And it certainly can't rely on the double-cross, double-speak colonials, 9 kingdoms. They can't. They have to pick those closest to them, those they can work with. And that's going to be Russia. So those out west who think, you need our resources, you'll never survive without our resources. America, making its transition, can make a deal with Russia tomorrow and wave goodbye to you. Gonzo. Gone. Done. And Russia right now, in its current situation, if it gets all of its territories, the line drawn in its oblasts that they've taken so far, even missing their 5% more that they very much wanted, even if the line's drawn there, I bet you Russia would take that if it meant the end of sanctions and their fleet opened up to international trade. And what do you think would happen if they get the value for their products from the USA? As USA's transitioning away from Canada. And you say, oh, it'll never happen. It was happening in 2021. So don't tell me it can't happen or it won't happen. It can happen to snap a finger. Democrat, Republican president, does not matter. It's what's best for the American people. And Canada's not best for the American people. Do you think Russia and its fleet in ruble against the USD and shipping and those costs, do you think they outperform Canadian costs? Canadian CAD versus American dollar? Of course they do. We're only talking about buying barrels of oil in USD, not the production and shipping costs. Those are all in the country of origin's currencies. That makes Russia very cheap for the United States. And if you look at the world in real global mapping, like absolutely Russia and USA do, absolutely that's how their militaries run, and it's absolutely how their value and supply chains run. They move above the earth. They look at it at any point they want. You swing that up and you're looking from Alaska, Bering Strait in Russia. Wow, we've got some close, quick ports. We could get this done. We can replace you, Canada. Snap of a finger. People say, oh, it'll never happen. They'll be buying Venezuela oil. No, they don't need to buy Venezuela oil. That's very far away. Russia's so much closer. So much closer. Right there with Alaska. Don't you know? These are the sad truths that people don't want to see. They want to put up their horse blinders. My Canadian media, my Canadian Crown, which are all one and the same, my Crown corporations told me this is the sad sickness of the constitutional monarchy known as Canada. Canadians are going to know it whether they like it or not by 2028, with or without sanctions and trade embargoes. The president has the power of the treaties. President negotiates trade. Yes, Congress and Senate vote on it. What does President Donald J. Trump have right now? Majority House and Senate for 2 straight years. By 2028, life in America is going to be affordable. And these people talking about energy poverty and, oh, the war with Canada is going to bankrupt all of America. No, it's not. No, it certainly is not. And if you've never looked at the massive Russian tanker fleet, shadow and registered, you should, because you're not playing with a tiny little inconspicuous nation here. You're dealing with a massive force in the world today. There's a reason why Russia is a UNSC P5 member. There's a reason Donald J. Trump, once again, who called this out in his last term, Russia needs to return. And I think this time he's going to do it. He will not impoverish Americans. He will see decolonization of Canada done, the cherished 51st state, or the sanctioned and trade embargoed wasteland of colonial disease and inhumanity. He will see one of 2 outcomes happen. He's better off with Russia than he is with Canada. People don't want to see that truth, but it's in your face today. The reason why you don't see it is your perceived supremacy, your belief in your crown who's trained you that you're entitled to everything in the world. You don't have to pay for it. Just relax. The crown will take care of you. Don't worry. We'll effectually make a difference. They are just slavers. That's all they really are. And the USA's done with it. They're not going to tolerate it anymore. They don't want a war on America anymore. They're drawing lines in the sand. And they're going to protect the American people. No more drug wars, no more financial wars, no more crippling of Americans and their morality, their society. It's over. It's over. And I think we're going to see Democrats, at least I would say a good minority where it's pushing the boundaries of taking power in that party come to pass. At least in the next 2 years, there's going to be changes where they're going to start discard these people. These people are going to become irrelevant who champion these ideals of the old world order, the massa, make America subjects again. It isn't going to happen. Americans are overwhelmingly going to go the other way because Trump's going to show them. They're going to show them. That's my video. Still coming tonight, part 3. Be there. It's okay if people aren't. They want to watch the hockey game. I get it. I don't want to see the booing. the shame that the Canadians are going to cause me during that game, especially in the anthem. Why would I do that? I just can't. I love hockey. I'm involved with a local men's league right now. I had great childhood experiences with the Oilers franchise, all of it. But I'm going to stand with Wayne Gretzky on this one. I'm not participating, and I'm not going to say I'm Canada, the 51st state. I'm shamefully watching my Canadians boo Americans for their ignorance, their politicians' crime, and actually defend subjugation and inhumanity, inequality. It's sick, wrong. Tonight's video is going to blow that out of the water during that game. And I think that's a fitting time to do it. While that's occurring, that's the best time to make the video, something to stand against that evil. God bless everybody. We'll see you in a few hours. It's a beautiful presentation. It's everything that Donald J. Trump and the GOP wanted. The administration wanted to see, high academia wants to see. They've been pressuring me for many weeks, but I've got it done. It's going to be done tonight for all Americans, all Canadians, as simplified as I can make it. Very explosive. I'm going to tag a number of people in it, Americans and Canadians, because it's something you have to know and see. You have to see it as it really is, that nobody else has ever shared this to you. And I have to thank the GOP and the Trump administration, Donald J. Trump. Absolutely American academia, without their help, without those open doors over all these years, I never would have got there. I just really wasn't looking. You can find it, but it's always about asking the questions, following up on it, and I just didn't know how to ask the question. That's a major flaw of subjects. I'm guilty of it too. I work hard, I do well, but there's still, by my birth, my growing up, your government sphere of influence, the way I think, just like all Canadians, is greatly skewed. And you won't ask the right questions. You won't look in those dark corners because you don't know how. And I'm learning how to do that. And I think I've done that at an explosive rate. So we'll see you tonight. Thank you. Share. Get this video out there. God bless. Bye now.